What's good, everybody? Welcome back to the Southern Spotlight Show, where today we're going to talk some Tennessee football. We're going to talk some Florida Gator football, and we got a special guest today, Jackson, who is a Georgia Bulldogs fan. So he's going to talk a little bit about that today, as you know, Florida Gators play those Georgia Bulldogs this weekend. So with that being said, let's get it. Guys, we have a game of the week. All right. In our previews and predictions show every week, we always have to have a game of the week. So it has to be Florida versus Georgia because, Ole Miss plays Arkansas. And, I don't think that's game of the week because Ole Miss has been pretty much disappointing this year. Everyone said that they were going to make the playoffs, that they were going to be that great and exciting team. But, I think this is the game that has to be. I think Florida, and the way that Florida has been playing, and obviously the way the Dogs has been playing, we got to talk about them Dogs.
Yeah. I mean, Georgia has been it's probably the most healthy Georgia's defense has been since probably because I started watching them. Like in 2017, they were always healthy. They never had any big injuries. They kept everyone healthy for the most part. And they're focused. They had an issue tackling at the beginning of the year, especially against Kentucky. Me and Golden were at that game. They could not tackle the receivers, the running back. They got figured out. But Lagway, man, I actually watched the past couple of Tennessee games. I watched the Florida-Tennessee game, Florida-Kentucky game. I took some notes on it. Number one, DJ, he's special, man. He can flat out play ball better than Anderson ever was. He's already better prospect. Lagway would probably go top 10 this year. I'm not kidding you. He's legit.
And he's only 19 years old.
Yeah, man, he's special. I like him a lot. Hopefully he stays. I think Billy Napier's going to stay for a while. I don't think he's going to leave this year. I don't think he's going to get fired.
At this point, yeah.
Because they fight for him, man. You can tell. They fight for him. They play for him. I'm impressed. I was impressed by Florida. Golden knows I was very low on them to start the year off, but they proved me wrong.
Golden, after what he just said about Georgia's defense, I have to say the best way for Florida to compete in a game like this is to create turnovers because here's the thing. Georgia's defense is going to get stops on DJ. DJ's just not going to just pop off against Georgia's defense because Georgia, that defensive lineman, like the defensive adjustments that they came out on Texas was incredible with the defensive line movement, tricking the offensive lineman on those blitz. I think the only way you guys stay in this game is by creating turnovers and getting Georgia's offense off the field on 3 and outs. How in the world do you think Florida is going to be capable of doing that this week?
Well, I think everyone knows Carson Beck is more than capable of throwing an interception. I don't know exactly who it would be to, but listen, in every big game Carson Beck's played in, he's thrown an interception or made a turnover. I'm not high on this game. I'm obviously not going to have us winning. But, yeah, I agree. Our offense is definitely good enough to stay in it, especially with the way Georgia's defense has played this year. But, it's probably on the quarterback. And I am expecting ETN to have a pretty big game against us in a revenge game, especially the way that Florida, like Barstool and everything's been talking about him this week. He's been getting a lot of hate. And, I mean, for good reason. He snaked us and he went to Georgia. But I think he's going to have a revenge game. So I don't know how much they're going to throw the ball. They might just give it to ETN every time for a huge revenge game. But I think, Carson Beck interception is definitely going to be the way to go when it comes to turning the ball over.
Right. Jackson, for sure, I got to ask you about this because, how did you feel about Georgia, especially after the struggle against Alabama? First off, how did you feel about them? And then how are you feeling about this team now going to, honestly, could be the SEC championship if you guys beat Tennessee?
I just think this team has probably the highest ceiling out of any team in college football, other than Ohio State. I don't think Georgia's played their best ball yet, to be quite frank. They played their best defense. I don't think they've played their best offense yet. And they put the two together, whether it's against Florida or against UMass. I think they'll show why they're the best team. But how I thought about after the Bama game, there's a lot of holes. Some of them have been filled yet. I don't think our tight ends are playing very good, to be quite honest. mean, it's hard to replace Brock Bowers. I think everyone knows that it's hard to replace. They've been worse than expected. Like both Georgia's top tight ends are supposed to be like NFL dudes. But like they're playing themselves out of playing in the NFL. Like they're playing really bad football. And hopefully they can change that this week. Hopefully they can get better as the season goes on. But then also the offensive line has just not been Georgia standard, quite frankly. I don't think that's really changed since the Alabama game.
I want to see Georgia's offense play against a dominant defensive line, and I think Tennessee's defensive line is going to cause some struggles. But I really want to see Georgia's defense versus Tennessee's offense because obviously we've seen Tennessee's offense struggle against Florida. We saw Tennessee's offense struggle against Bama, but Tennessee's defense kept them in the game to win that game. I don't know if Tennessee's going to be capable of doing that against Georgia on the road. So as me and Golden have talked about for Tennessee, we want to see Tennessee's offense improve throughout this Kentucky game and Mississippi State game, because if they don't, we're going to see a little rough one in Athens.
It sucks to see because Nico, they're like probably about 15 to 20 times this year, they're like within 6 inches of a big play. Because they're so close. Once they hit on those deep balls, man, Tennessee's going to be scary. That defense is like, they're probably the second fastest defense in the SEC. And that makes them the second best defense, yeah. Because Georgia's still faster. Like, I told Golden after watching them in person twice, like 2 weeks in a row, Tennessee Tech and Kentucky, I've never seen a Georgia defense that fast. Like, their players, like, individually are insanely fast. But then I watch Tennessee, and they fly. Especially Tyree West, the defensive tackle, who was committed to Georgia for like 8 months. He is unreal.
He's tough.
I want to see him. I want to watch him in person. I would love to watch him pregame and warm ups and see how he like how fast he really is. That's how you figure out how fast people are is warm ups. They're not going they're not doing real reps. You can see them at like their full athleticism. That's what I love doing. Like, you guys, Golden, we went to a UAB game last year. I had most of my fun pregame watching them just run around. I was like bored and Golden to talk about football players the entire time.
This kid knows Georgia football unlike any other, bro. I mean, this is the biggest Georgia homer I've ever seen, but he knows ball.
Okay, with that being said, I think we gotta go into predictions now. I'm gonna let the Georgia homer go first, and then I'm gonna go, and then we'll let the Florida guy go last.
Okay.
I said obviously I didn't say on a podcast. I've never been on one. But I'm saying I'm not picking Georgia to cover a spread until they actually do it. I've not picked Georgia to cover one time this year, and they've only proven me wrong twice against Texas and Clemson. They have not covered since then. So I'm picking them not to cover this week. I have them winning in a 31 to 31 to 20. I think Lagway's have some explosive plays. I think Georgia's a little susceptible to deep ball. And if y'all see Lagway against Kentucky, 7 completions for 259.
It's insane.
I'm not great at math. That's like 30 plus yards of completion. So I worry about that as a Georgia fan. I think at the end of the day, we're just too physical for them. But I love Florida's defense. I have a bunch of names here. Shamar James is an absolute dude. I really wanted Georgia to get him out of high school. We did it. Golden, you can correct me. I believe y'all's corner, last name is Marshall. I don't know his first name.
Oh, he's
absolute
nice.
Dog.
He's nice.
He's been there forever.
Yeah.
I think he's been there for like 8 years. It must have been an upper Marshall at DB. I love him too. And then the defensive tackle, the LJ McCray guy, freshman, dog. I love him too. I had him as the best defensive player in the country coming out of high school too. So y'all had the best offensive player and best defensive player coming out of high school for me. And I hate Florida. But I also
he does hate Florida.
Yeah, I got some dogs.
That's saying a lot coming from him.
Well, there's a Florida Gator hater right here you're talking to, man, and it's yours truly. And I'm just going to go ahead and just say my score prediction. I think it's going to be close to the beginning of the game. I really do. I think it's going to be a close first half. I'm not going to do y'all like that, Golden. But I'm definitely going to say the outcome of this game is going to be 38-17, okay? I think that first half, Florida gives you at least 10 points. They're down 17-10 at halftime. But then that second half, it's grown men versus boys. And I think Georgia is just going to step over those guys, and Lagway is going to have a couple turnovers, which is okay to have against Georgia. Okay, that's understandable. But I think we're going to see some growth out of Lagway. I think we're going to see some of that, but we're just going to see Georgia just keep elevating and elevating game by game. So I'm going to go Georgia 38 for the 17.
I like that.
38 is quite a lot of points. I mean,
y'all don't got a defense like that, bro. It's
no,
not.
we don't. But
Y'all
in a
know.
rivalry game like this, like look at what happened in the Tennessee game. In a rivalry game, it's always going to be somewhat close. I mean, yes, there's been times where teams get blown out in rivalry games, but I don't know. In Jacksonville, Florida, too, I feel like it's not going to be close, but I'm going to have Georgia winning 28-14. I don't see us putting up more than 20 points.
The thing is,
20 is crazy from Jackson.
Yeah. The thing is, though, this game every year, Goldie, you can either confirm or deny this. This game always starts out slow, for Georgia at least. Because last year, Florida scored first drive. The year before that, I think Georgia started a little faster, but y'all came back in that game. Y'all had like a crazy bomb to the shorter kid. I don't remember where he transferred to.
Yeah, shorter. Yeah, he was good.
And then in the year that the first national championship for Georgia was only up like 3-0 with like 4 minutes left, but we scored like 3 touchdowns within a minute. It was insane. Maybe Georgia does that again. But I think we're gonna start slow because Georgia starts slow every year. Every year it feels like. For the last couple of years, Georgia started really slow every game, besides the Texas game.
Well, look how slow Tennessee started.
Exactly. And if I get to do a Tennessee-Kentucky prediction, I have a take to deliver. I don't know how that game's going to go very well for Tennessee, honestly. I'm sniffing an upset.
You're expecting an upset?
I'm not expecting it. I'm going to be surprised if it happens.
Wow.
All right, guys.
What we'd like to see on the show. Some bold takes.
All right, guys. With that being said, Tennessee fans are watching that show. I want you to give Jackson a hard time in the comment section. And Florida and Georgia fans, give us your score predictions. Florida fans, what are you looking for? Are you seeing a DJ Lagway show? All right, this Saturday. Georgia fans, are you guys going to continue to dominate? Let us know in the comment section. And thank you, Jackson, for joining the show.
Of course.
And yeah, we're going to go into our next topic. All right, Golden. We got number 7 Tennessee versus the 3-5 Kentucky Wildcat team. This is a team that made a big time upset at the beginning of the year. Let's not forget that. And it took Georgia to 14-3 game or 12-13 game that you went to. Honestly, could have won that Georgia game. My question is, how is Stoops still coaching this team right now? How is he still coaching this team right now? I cannot tell you. But, guys, this game's at 7:45 p.m. game, and Tennessee is favored by 16.5, which I think that's reasonable. The way Kentucky has looked, especially last week, Tennessee should be favored actually kind of higher. I'm going to say why. The key matchup here is Tennessee's O-line versus Kentucky's D-line. And the reason why I say Kentucky's D-line, and I'll honestly put Kentucky's front seven, is because Jarquez Hunter had 278 rushing yards on them last week, Auburn's running back. 278 rushing yards. This should be a big game for Dylan Sampson. There's no excuse for Dylan Sampson to not have more than at least 150 yards rushing this game. I think he's going to eat. I think we're going to see we're going to see Bishop pop off a little bit too. We may even see some Cam Sell in action. If I'm Tennessee, I'm pounding the rock all game. All right. And when they give us the opportunity to throw deep, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. And we got to hit the passes. But my matchup here is definitely Tennessee's O-line versus Kentucky's front seven.
Yeah, I mean, bro, Kentucky is trash. I mean, they played well at the start of the year, but they're really starting to fall off. And how does Stoops still have a job? I mean, they just lost to Auburn and got absolutely annihilated by us, and lost to Vanderbilt. So I don't know how this dude still has a job. That's 3 straight pretty bad losses to mid-SEC teams, and then you're going to get probably killed. No, you know what? I won't reveal anything yet. But you're going to lose to Tennessee. I mean, come on, they're not beating Tennessee.
It's a night game in dark mode,
but. Well, Tennessee is not losing to Kentucky, but then they've got Murray State, Texas, and Louisville. So they have one more win on their schedule. One. That's it.
Yeah, they're not being Louisville.
No, I don't know how this guy still has a job. They're mid, and their quarterback sucks, and he can't throw a ball. All he can do is run. I don't even know what to say about this team. I've seen them in person. There was one good game where Georgia played terrible. Other than that, they've been really bad. Yeah, they beat Ole Miss, but Ole Miss isn't really as good as we thought they were. They're out of it now. I mean, they're not making a playoff. So, yeah, Kentucky's really, really bad this year. And I don't know how he still has. I'm actually in shock that this guy still has a job after seeing this schedule. Because if Billy Napier lost those games, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what would happen. But yeah, they suck. That's all I gotta say. They suck.
Yeah, Tennessee fans, we have seen some ups and downs of Tennessee's offense in the past few games, and it definitely starts with the passing attack and the O-line. O-line stepped up against Florida. O-line stepped up against Bama. I'll say that. Yeah, we saw sack numbers, but Nico had a lot of time to throw the ball, which the question is why is he not completing the passes? And he's making some freshman mistakes, and he's just making some bad quarterback plays. And I think Nico's going to have a lot of deep ball opportunities in this game. Do I think that they are going to throw the ball a lot in this game? No. But there's going to be opportunities for him to throw deep balls because when Tennessee's eating in that rushing attack, Kentucky's going to stack the box. So then once they stack the box, we got to make them pay. And we got to feed guys like Dante Thorne. We got to feed guys like Brew McCoy. And we Squirrel's hurt right now, so we may see some Mike Matthews. We may unfortunately see some, Chris, we're going to see some Nimrod, but don't like Nimrod as much. But we'll definitely see some receiver playing Chris Brazzell. But he has to complete these balls. But I think Tennessee playing Kentucky, Mississippi State for the next 2 games can be confident builder type of games for a quarterback. He can build chemistry with his receivers because if you're knocking these teams, you're blowing them out. If you're hitting deep balls, that's perfect when you're about to play a team like Georgia after that. I think it's very important for Tennessee.
Yeah, I mean, y'all should be locked to go to the playoff if you don't mess up in Tennessee fashion and lose one of those last games. But
I don't. Diego.
Yeah, Nico should no. Yeah, it's at home. I mean,
it's not that Vandy.
It's still Vandy. Oh,
it's home for us. It's home for us. Vandy don't got fans. It's home for us.
They got fans this year, though, don't they? I mean,
somewhat.
Y'all should be fine as long as you beat them because you're not going to lose to Mississippi State. You're not going to lose Kentucky. But yeah, I agree with you. I think Dylan Sampson is going to continue to carry this game. I mean, what do you have? 278 rushing yards, that Hunter guy?
278, man. Jarquez.
That's ridiculous. He's good, though. And Auburn's, you know what? I was actually watching that Auburn game, and a stat popped up on the screen of their offense, and they're like top 10 in everything. They just turn the ball over. But Auburn's like actually pretty good, and Peyton Thorne's good, and the receivers are good. They've got that freshman. I don't know his name, but
Thorne can't take care of the ball. If he took care of the ball, they could be competing way more than what they are.
Exactly, but yeah, I think Dylan Sampson's just going to continue to feast. He's the best running back in the SEC. You really shouldn't have any problems with Kentucky. I'll probably have you winning by like 2 touchdowns, but I don't know if it's gonna be complete obliteration of them.
Well, hey, buddy, I'm going with my prediction right now, man, and I'm going 45 Tennessee, Kentucky 17. And the only reason why they score 17, guys, the only reason why Kentucky even scores 17 points in this game is because they're going to get a little makeup touchdown at the end of the game because we're going to have our scrubs in the game, guys. Majority of the game, we're going to be up 45-10. There's going to be time we're up 35. I think we're going to start off 28-0 on this team. I think we're just going to go off because, first off, we're going dark mode. Y'all know what happens in Tennessee with dark mode jerseys. We just get superpowers. We get superpowers. We just go crazy, and it's a night game. I think this is just Stoops' just doom. I think he's done. All right, when he gets blown out in Knoxville, I think he's finished. Like we won't see him coaching for Kentucky next week. I would be shocked. But if he survives,
he might as well. I mean, look at who he's lost to already. He loses to Tennessee. That's are they top 6, top 7 team? I mean, yeah, he should already be done. But
he should already be cooked.
Yeah, I'll have y'all winning 31-17. You'll win.
We're
I
gonna
don't think it's
score. We're gonna score more than that. We're gonna score more than that, bro. We're gonna score more
still
than
an
that.
SEC team at the end of the day.
Dylan Sampson show, bro.
Listen, it's still an SEC team at the end of the day, and Nico can't do the things DJ can do. I'm sorry, you can't put 48.
All right.
You can't put 48 on Kentucky.
All right, guys. You give us your score predictions for Tennessee versus Kentucky, and let us know. Is Nico gonna pop off? All right, is Nico gonna show the world if he's way better than DJ Lagway ever is? Is Dylan Sampson gonna have a 150-yard type of rushing game? Is he gonna continue the streak that he has done? Because it's been an incredible run. And with that being said, you guys let us know. And thank you guys for watching the Southern Spotlight Show.